Hi guys, this is Vineet and I welcome you to this video. Today's video topic is Piecemeal Restores in SQL Server. So please subscribe to my channel in case you haven't already subscribed. Please go ahead and do so. So let me take you to notes quickly so that we can discuss this topic. So today's topic is Piecemeal Restores in SQL Server. And we are basically providing overview of Piecemeal Restores in SQL Server. And practicals will be followed in the next part of this video basically, so you need to stay in touch. I would suggest subscribing to my channel so that you should not miss on the part 2 of this video. Let me start with this theoretical explanation. Today's session will be a theoretical session. So regarding piecemeal restores, if we talk about this articles, and basically this piecemeal restores applies to the databases in the enterprise edition of SQL Server for any online restoration. So online piecemeal restores are only possible in enterprise edition of SQL Server, and in standard edition we can only support only offline restores or offline piecemeal restores that contain multiple files or file groups, and under the simple model only for read-only file groups. So if we are using the simple recovery model, we can only restore read-only file groups, not any other read-write file groups. But if we are using any other models, recovery models for our database, yes, we can do restores of any other file groups as well, which are read-write as well. Now let's talk about piecemeal restores. So piecemeal restore allows databases that contain multiple file groups to be restored. So what is the benefit of this piecemeal restore? The piecemeal restore basically allows us to restore any of the databases that contain multiple file groups that we want to restore, and recover in stages basically. And piecemeal restore basically involves a series of restore sequences. So piecemeal restore is basically restoring your database piece by piece, which one involves restoring certain file groups. So this piecemeal restore involves a series of restore sequences, and these sequences started with primary file group. So first we restore the primary file group, and in some cases we also restore one or more secondary file groups. So we start with primary file group, and thereafter we restore one or more secondary file groups if we have any. Now piecemeal restore maintains checks to ensure that the database will be in consistent state at the end. So it tries to ensure that, and after the restore sequence is completed, recovered files, if they are valid and consistent with the database, then only your database can be brought online directly. Now we talk about piecemeal restore. It works with all the recovery models, including simple recovery model as well. And it is more flexible for a full and bulk log recovery models compared to the simple recovery model. So in simple recovery model, we can do a piecemeal restore of read-only file groups, whereas in full and bulk log recovery models, if we are using these recovery models for our database, we can perform a restore of read-write file groups as well. Now, every piecemeal restores, it starts with an initial restore sequence called the partial restore sequence. And minimally, the partial restore sequence restores and recovers the primary file group. So what all is included in a partial restore sequence? It restores the primary file group, and if we are using a simple recovery model, it restore all the read-write file groups. But I think under the simple recovery model, it just restores the read-only file group. So this information is a little bit conflicting over here. Okay, let's move ahead. We will see what happens. During the piecemeal restore sequence, the whole database must go offline. So while we are doing the piecemeal restore sequence, your whole database must have to go offline. And once your database goes offline, thereafter the database is online and restored file groups are available. So once your restore is done, during the restoration process, your database remains offline. Once your restore is done, your database can come online and restore file groups are available after that. Now, However, any unrestored file groups remain offline. So whatever file groups we have not restored will remain offline and are not accessible as well. So any of the files available or data available under certain file groups will not be available if they are not restored. Now, any offline file groups, however, can be restored and brought online later by a file restoration process. Now, regardless of the recovery model we are using, whether it's simple, bulk locked, or full recovery model used by database, the partial restore sequence starts with the restore database statement that restores a full backup. So first we restore a full database backup and specifies the partial option. So while restoring the full database backup, we specify the partial option. All right, if we are doing a piecemeal restore. Now partial option always starts a new piecemeal restore. So if we mention the partial keyword while restoring the full database backup, it basically initiates a new piecemeal restore, and therefore you must specify partial only one time in the initial statement of the partial restore sequence. So the first step is to do a partial restore. So this keyword is only mentioned only the first time, not after that, not for any further restore sequences. We don't specify the partial restore keyword. Now when the partial restore sequence finishes and the database is brought online, so after your partial restore sequence finish, your database can be brought online and the state of the remaining files become recovery pending. All right, and because their recovery has been postponed, right? Now what after the partial restore sequence, once we are done with the partial restore sequence, subsequently what we do, a piecemeal restore typically includes one or more restore sequences, right, which are called the file group restore sequences. So after the partial restore sequence is done, what we do is we restore one or more sequences. We do a file group restore, and file group restore sequences basically, which are called file group restore sequences. You can wait to perform a specific file group restore sequences for as long as you want. Each file group restore sequence restores and recovers one or more offline file groups to a point consistent with the database. And the number and timing of file group restore sequences depends upon your recovery goal and the number of offline file groups that you want to restore, and on how many of them you restore per file group restore sequence. So it depends upon you how many file groups you want to restore. Now the exact requirement for performing a piecemeal restore depend upon the recovery model of the database. So what are the exact requirements for performing your piecemeal restore? It depends upon the recovery model of the database that you are using. Now let's talk about various different piecemeal restore scenarios. And if we talk about all the editions of SQL Server, they support offline piecemeal restores. So offline piecemeal restores are supported in all the editions of SQL Server, including the standard and enterprise edition. Now in the enterprise edition, a piecemeal restore can be either online and offline as well. So this is the additional facility. We can do online piecemeal restores in the enterprise edition of SQL Server. And the implications of offline and online piecemeal restores are as follows. So let's discuss about each of them separately. Now let's talk about some of the implications of offline piecemeal restore scenario. Now in an offline piecemeal restore, the database is online after the partial restore sequence completes, right? And file groups that have not yet been restored and they remain offline. That's also correct. But they can be restored as you need them after taking the database offline. So if you want to do any file group restores later on in an offline piecemeal restore scenario, you need to take your database online. That is one of the caveat or implications of using the offline piecemeal restore scenario. Now let's talk about the online piecemeal restore scenario. Now in an online piecemeal restore scenario, after you perform the initial partial restore sequence, the database comes online and the primary file group and the secondary file groups are available after that. And file groups that have not yet been restored remain offline, but they can be restored as needed while the database remains online. So if you want to restore any additional file groups, your database can remain online. So that is one of the benefits or advantages of using the online piecemeal restore scenario. Now let's talk about some of the restrictions, limitations altogether. Now, if we are using a partial resource sequence, it excludes any file stream file groups. So any of the file stream file group will not be restored in the partial restore sequence. And point in time restore is not supported under the piecemeal restore scenarios. You can force the restore sequence to continue. However, the file stream file groups that are omitted from your restore statement can never be restored. So if you are using any file stream file groups, we would not suggest using the piecemeal restores. Um, so in case you does not include the file stream file group, or if you omit any file stream file groups from your restore statement, they can never be restored. Now let's move ahead. To force a point in time restore, what do you have to do? Basically, you need to specify a continue after error option. There's a workaround for that. Basically, if you want to do any point in time restore, you can specify the continue after error option together with the stop at mark, and stop before mark option, which you must also specify in your subsequent restore and log statement. Now, if you specify continue after error, the partial restore sequence succeeds and the file stream file groups become unrecoverable. All right, we will talk about this in detail later on, but yeah, for now we are done with this theoretical discussion on this topic. Now, in our next video, what we'll discuss, let me figure that out. Give me a minute. In our next video, we will cover piecemeal restores under the simple recovery model. So we'll discuss about that topic. We will discuss about the requirements for piecemeal restore under the simple recovery model. And after discussing the requirements, we will talk about the piecemeal restore stages under the simple recovery model. And once we discuss on the stages for piecemeal restore under the simple recovery model, we will show you two demos on how you can do the piecemeal restore of database under the simple recovery model, and how you can perform piecemeal restore of only some file groups under the simple recovery model. So this is what we will cover in our next video. So stay tuned. If you are not yet subscribed, I would highly urge you to subscribe right away. All right, and let me discuss few more items. So guys, if you want to browse my channel, this is my channel page link, and let me open that for you. So it's youtube.com/@Techie Vineet is my page, channel page for YouTube. So guys, once you come to my channel page, you will see that I have around 1.1k subscribers and 318 videos at present. Once you get to my channel page, click on the courses section. And if we talk about this video belongs to the business continuity course section. So we have around 67 lessons under this course. We have other courses as well. One on the database design having 116 lessons. One on the performance tuning having 40 lessons at present. And we also have some other playlist having some of the lessons there. But this video belongs to this particular course. So we can you can check out the full course here if you want to go through the complete business continuity series, and I will put this video tagged under this particular course. And if you click on view full course, it will show you the full course on SQL Server business continuity. So in case you want to if you are interested in learning about the business continuity series, this has videos related to backup, restores, all the videos related to backup and restores. So far we have around 67, 69 videos, and this will be the next video in this series. So all right, I hope you got to know how to get to my channel page, right? And this is the link. You need to open that link, youtube.com/@Techie Vineet. Open my page and go to the courses section, which I've just shown you a few minutes back. Under the courses section, you will find the business continuity course. I have a complete course on this series. We are done with that. Let's close this page. Now, the second link I want to open is this forms link. I will include this form link in the video description area of this video. Basically, if you want notes related to this, so I've discussed some notes during our video, right? So let me open up those notes for you quickly. So I've just triggered one note. So these are the notes we have discussed today, right? So in case you need a PDF copy of these notes, what you can do, you need to fill up the subscriber registration form, which is given over here. And I will put this link in the video description area. You need to fill this form in case you need a PDF copy of the notes. So let me show you what's inside this page. So I've copied the link and let me take you to Chrome and put that link there and open this page, which is a subscriber registration form. So you need to put in your name, your email address, your phone number, and notes are available on the subscription basis basically. So in case you need the 1 month subscription to my notes, which includes notes for other topics as well. So charges are 200 for 1 month, 500 for 3 months, 700 for 6 months, and 1200 for 12 months. And let me show you my notes area basically. So once you opt for a subscription, I will provide you access to my Google Drive basically. So I've opened my Google Drive. So let's go to my drive. So I have many notes related to SQL Server, right? And if I go to my drive, I have SQL Server notes. So I will give access to you on the complete SQL Server playlist, right? So under that, I keep adding on notes for various topics. So this one is for business continuity. I add whatever notes we have discussed here today, right? So under that, we have backup and restore under business continuity section. So I will put on the notes for this particular. So the notes for the last video are given over here, which are file restores under the full recovery model. So I will put on notes for this video as well here. And if you need subscription to this complete set of notes list, you need to subscribe to me via the subscriber registration form. You need to fill in the complete details and click on the submit button after that once you fill in the complete details. So once I receive your subscription request, I will send you the link to make the payment for the subscription, right? So choose your subscription wisely, and I will send you the payment link to make for the subscription to these notes. And once I receive your payment, I will enable your Gmail account on my Google Drive. I will provide access to your account. So make sure you're using a Gmail account while filling in this form. All right. So that's it, guys. I hope you like today's video. And let me come back to slide. So today we have discussed upon piecemeal restores in SQL Server. Please subscribe if you have not already. Soon there will be a second part of the this particular video series coming soon. So I've already discussed what I will discuss in next video. You can contact on my email address. This is my email address, vrmavana@gmail.com, for any of the topics given on the right hand side. So for copy of the notes, you can ignore because you need to fill in the subscriber registration form. But yeah, if you have any queries related to that, you can definitely send me an email. I have 2 email addresses, so you can send email on any of them. And basically, if you need copy of notes, SQL code, that's a subscription based model. You need to buy subscription in order to gain access to the notes. And if you want to schedule one-to-one calls, you can definitely send me an email. And if you want to do any SQL consultations with me, you can definitely do that. So you can send me an email, but all these items will be on paid basis, right? Keep in mind, all the items on the right hand side will be on paid basis. And if you want me to involve in any SQL troubleshooting, that is also paid. And if you want me to do analysis of your T-SQL code for any of your projects, I can do that. So, but that will be a paid affair. And you can collaborate with me for any content creation or brand promotion. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, guys, that's it. And let me end my video for today. Thank you so much for your time on this video today, and you have a wonderful day.